Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Stephanie and today we are going to be talking about something super fun, one of my favorite topics, skincare. So we are going to do an oily skincare routine. And I want to preface this by saying I am not a skincare expert by any means, just a girl who loves watching skincare videos, reading about skincare, trying different skincare. So this is more like friend to friend advice, sister type stuff. So a couple things about my skin first off, because this is just really coming from my experience. So I have pretty oily skin. It's the end of the day right now and you can see my skin's kind of greasy, but I wanted to leave it that way just so you can kind of see my skin. I used to be super duper acne prone, like in middle school and high school, horrible cystic acne, not everywhere, but like a good amount of acne all over my face. I would say I'm still pretty acne prone. As you can see, I have some pimples on my chin. This is usually where I break out. And then I have endless blackheads on my nose. I took Accutane back at the end of high school just for about 6 months. That helped clear up my cystic acne. And I haven't really had a problem since, but obviously I still get pimples every now and then. It's usually from like irritation from skincare products or when I'm eating really bad, even though I've heard that eating sugar and like greasy foods isn't actually, there's no connection between that and your skin, but at least on me, I feel like they are kind of related. Let's talk a little bit about oily skin first. So a lot of times oil in your skin can be exacerbated by it being too dry. So sometimes you can think, okay, I have oily skin, I don't need to moisturize, or oh, I have oily skin, I need to use like a really aggressive toner, you know, like those pads that you rub all over your face that smell like alcohol. And what that actually does is it dries out your skin even more, and your skin thinks, okay, there's no oil on my face, I need to make more. So you can end up over like compensating and overproducing the oil on your skin, which then causes extra oily skin. And that makes me think of a lot of the like traditional acne products you see. A lot of times they can be really drying. They can smell like alcohol and they just leave your skin feeling totally stripped. And you might think, okay, that's how like it's supposed to be because I have oily skin, I need to get it all off. But you might be doing more harm than good to your skin. So you'll notice here in a second that a lot of the products that I will recommend to you are kind of labeled as hydrating rather than being like targeted for oily skin. And at least I've just noticed that since switching to products like that, my skin honestly feels a lot less greasy and a lot more balanced and just controlled. I know a lot of people with oily skin want to completely mattify it. They don't want any oil popping through, and that's how I used to be, like, for sure. But now I don't mind as much. I kind of like the oil shining through, and I think it kind of lines up with like the makeup and like skincare trends we're seeing right now. There's kind of more like a draw to dewy skin rather than completely matte. So if you have oily skin, just, you know, this is kind of our era right now. When you're at the store looking for different products, you'll want to stay away from things labeled as for dry skin. You could be okay with normal skin and oily skin products, but for the most part, it's safest to stay away from dry skin products. Those can have really heavy oils and different ingredients in there that will just be too much for your skin and can cause a lot of irritation. Okay, so we are going to start off with an oil cleanser. It's this one here, the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. It is so good. I know using an oil can seem really scary, but it's actually really nice, and it's pretty lightweight. So you'll just put it on your hands when they're dry, put it on your dry face, and then be sure to rinse it off with warm water. If you do cold water, sometimes cold water doesn't like always take off oil the best, so be sure to use warm water and it'll remove everything. And if you have a lot of like active pimples on your face, which I know can be so painful, that oil is just so gentle. You don't have to like press really hard to like rub it around your face. Just gently put it on, let it sit for a second, and then let it rinse off. So that's another reason I really love it for an oily skin type. Okay, next is face wash. So this would be the first one I would recommend to you. So this is a CeraVe Renewing Salicylic Acid Cleanser. So I've used this for years. This has literally been permanently in my shower for like 8 years, honestly. CeraVe obviously is super recommended by dermatologists and skincare experts, and it's for a great reason. Their products are fragrance-free. They all have ceramides that help to repair your skin barrier, which helps keep moisture in, which, as we kind of know, that will help us to control our oil production. So this is a very non-drying, non-irritating cleanser. And I would say if you have oily skin but don't necessarily always have breakouts, this would be a really good one to use. Salicylic acid is a BHA or a beta hydroxy acid, and this will be your best friend if you have oily skin or acne prone skin. What a BHA does is it gets really deep into your pores to help clear them out, compared to like an AHA, like glycolic acid or lactic acid, that more so breaks up the skin cells like kind of on the surface. It helps to break the bonds between those and wipe them away. Salicylic acid actually gets down into the pores to help clear everything out. And then I have 3 more cleansers to recommend. They're all kind of on different levels. So the first one is this one. It's the CeraVe Acne Control Cleanser. So I would say this one is a step up from this. So this one doesn't actually specify how much salicylic acid is in it, but I did some research and apparently it's 0.5%. Typical acne products are 2% salicylic acid, so that's why this one is kind of more like gentle. This one is 2%. And I used this one up a couple months ago and I didn't notice that it made my skin dry or anything. It honestly felt very similar to this one. I didn't notice a difference. But the next 2 are a little bit different. So these are the CeraVe Acne Foaming Cream Cleanser. And these are different than the last 2 I mentioned. These are benzoyl peroxide washes. Benzoyl peroxide works in a different way. This actually targets the bacteria that's causing the acne rather than like going in and clearing out the pores. This can be a lot more irritating than salicylic acid. So if you're dealing with a lot of acne, I know dermatologists often will recommend a benzoyl peroxide wash, and I think these 2 are great. Again, they have the ceramides in there to help your skin barrier, and there's 2 different levels. So if your skin can take a little bit more, you could use the 10%, or if your skin is a bit more sensitive and you don't want to jump all the way up here, try this one first. And the next step would be a toner. And I know a lot of people, when they hear toner, they think of something that's super duper drying, like an astringent, but modern day toners are actually very different. And a lot of times they can be hydrating. So I have 2 to recommend to you today. The first one is from a brand called Some by Me, and it's the AHA BHA PHA 30-Day Miracle Toner. It also has niacinamide and tea tree water in it. So what this is a chemical exfoliator, and don't get too scared when I say that. It's very, very gentle. This is a K-Beauty brand, and I find that a lot of K-Beauty is super duper gentle. The ingredients might sound a bit scary and harsh, but they're not. They are so gentle and so nice on the skin. Something that comes along with having oily skin is blackheads and acne. We know that. So by exfoliating with a mixture of all of these chemical exfoliators, you are targeting your pores by every direction. The BHA is getting in there, scooping everything out. The AHAs are breaking up those dead skin cells to make sure they don't stay on the skin and turn into a pimple. I honestly don't remember what a PHA does. And then niacinamide, of course, is really brightening, very soothing for acne. This product just has so many great ingredients in it, and it's all combined into one, so it makes it really easy. I even can get this on my eyelids with no problem at all. This will help keep your skin so clear. I didn't notice that it really did much for my blackheads, but I didn't have any breakouts while I was using it. The other one I would recommend is the BHA liquid exfoliant from Naturium. So this is 2% salicylic acid, and then it also has fruit acids in it. So this one is kind of similar to the Paula's Choice BHA. I've never actually used that one, but I just love Naturium, so I wanted to try this one. I've been using it recently and I really like it. So this does not have like AHAs and all that stuff that this one has in it. This one is just BHAs. This feels so hydrating on your skin. It's honestly crazy. I was not expecting it at all. I figured it would probably be pretty watery like this one, or maybe it would kind of burn, but it's neither of those things. It's almost like a creamy, like, I don't know, watery texture. And I was really intrigued by that. So I looked up the ingredients of the Paula's Choice one, and I was kind of comparing the 2. And doing that research, I found that the second ingredient in this product after water is butylene glycol, and that's a humectant. A humectant is something that hydrates your skin. So I was like, wow, that's why you feel so hydrating and so nice on the skin. So I love it. I use this one all over my face, but you could focus this just on your T-zone, like where you're oily. You don't have to put it like all over. The next category is honestly very optional. If you want to be extra with your skincare routine, which I pretty much always do, add these in. So this step is just kind of for extra hydration. This is the Dear Claris Supple Preparation Unscented Toner. This is so good. Balancing your pH is really important just to allow for proper absorption of the product. So this will help balance your pH, and it is so hydrating. It feels so nice on the skin. The next thing that's kind of in this unnecessary category is this ginseng essence water from Beauty of Joseon. For me, it leaves a really beautiful glow on the skin, but if you don't want that, probably skip this one. This also has niacinamide in it, which is really great for acne. It can just kind of help to calm everything down. I know finding hydrating products for oily skin that won't break you out can be really, really tricky. So a lot of times lighter weight products like this versus like a really heavy cream are good things to add in if you want / need that extra hydration. And if you are someone who wants to keep your skin pretty mattified during the day, maybe just try these at nighttime. That can be a really good time to use more hydrating products you don't want to wear during the day. Okay, I forgot I was going to mention this one. So one more kind of unnecessary product would be the Snail 96 Mucin. I know you've probably seen this everywhere, but this really is another great hydrating product for oily skin. It's like a gel consistency. It definitely does not leave you as glowy as like this does, but it still gives you that hydration that's really nice for the daytime. And the Snail Mucin in there is naturally like pretty anti-inflammatory. So if you have active breakouts, it can kind of help just to calm those down. So just wanted to mention that one really quick. And now let's move on to some serums. So the first serum I have to recommend to you is from The Ordinary. It's the Niacinamide and Zinc serum. This is a newer product for me. I started using it maybe about 2 weeks ago, and oh my gosh, I can pinpoint that this is a product that has been helping me so much with my blackheads. So we know niacinamide can be great, but this has zinc in it, which is an ingredient that I haven't seen as much in skincare, but zinc is really great for wound healing, and it's also very anti-inflammatory. So this can be really great for active acne spots, just to kind of help heal them and help them recover. Okay, the next serum I would recommend is from Madagascar Centella. It's called the Pormizing Fresh Ampule. So this is called an ampule, which is basically a super power-packed serum. All their products contain Centella asiatica, which has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects to the skin. So again, just very calming. And then also why this is great for oily skin is that it has Himalayan salt in it. And what that does is just help to clear out the pores and help to control that oil. The next category is not like oily skin specific necessarily, but I just wanted to put it in here because I want this to be like a full skincare routine, and I don't think this is something you should leave out. So the next step would be a vitamin C serum. So I would either recommend the one from CeraVe, which I love, or this one from Access Y. This one isn't vitamin C, but it's a dark spot corrector, and it's really good. Doesn't leave you too like greasy or anything, so I think this is pretty safe for oily skin. The next category is lotions, and I have a lot to talk to you about. We are gonna go in levels. So the first one is this CeraVe Ultralight Moisturizing Gel. This is a newer product for CeraVe, and I would say this is for the person who doesn't mind their oily skin and isn't trying to mattify anything. This has no mattifying properties to it, so this basically is just a really nice lightweight moisturizer. It's not going to feel heavy on your skin, and it is so hydrating. I love this. This next one is for the person who wants to kind of control their oil but doesn't mind a little bit coming through. This is the Peach Slices Oil Control Mattifying Moisturizer. I noticed that this one did help to control my oil, but it wasn't completely mattified. This one has niacinamide, zinc, and green tea in it. Okay, this next one is for the person that wants to be completely mattified. This is from Madagascar Centella. This was so mattifying for me. And I guess maybe I should have showed you the textures of all these, but this one is literally a clear gel, okay? You see that? So it feels so lightweight on the skin, yet still hydrating, but you can see it's like basically water. Now while we're here, let me just show you this one. This one is a little bit creamier. You can see it's like a bit thicker, you know? And then this one, CeraVe, you can see so glossy, like very lightweight. The Peach Slices one is definitely like thicker than both of them, CeraVe is very, very lightweight. So all three of those are really great for daytime, and then for nighttime, I always think it's good to go in with something a little bit heavier because you might as well. This is one from Naturium. It's the Marine Hyaluronic Water Cream. It's a very lightweight gel cream, you can see. It's a really nice texture. I've used that one during the daytime and it's great too, but I think for nighttime it would be a great option for anyone with oily skin just because it still is lightweight, but it's a touch more hydrating than the 3 daytime moisturizers. The next thing I have to mention is retinol. I've been using this one from Naturium. It's the Retinaldehyde Cream Serum 0.05%. You could also try different. Retinols are really, really important for oily skin and acne because they help to increase the rate of cell turnover, which is really important because by bringing those older skin cells to the surface quicker, it helps to get rid of dark spots, which a lot of times will occur after having a breakout. And it's also great because it'll just help to get rid of those skin cells that are ready to go. It just gives them an extra little kick in the butt to get out of there so they don't clog anything up. And that's usually what a lot of dermatologists will give their patients, is like a tretinoin cream. So that can be really good for spot treatments or just all over the face. The next step would be an SPF. I have to thank the person who recommended this to me in one of my last videos. This is the Nambuzen Pure Full Calming Water Sunscreen. I figured this one would be pretty similar to like a lot of other sunscreens I've tried, but this is not. This is a K-beauty brand, so it kind of has all those features of a Korean sunscreen that I love. It doesn't have the scent, it doesn't stink, doesn't leave a white cast. So it just is really great for so many people because of those 3 things. But something that I specifically loved about this for oily skin is that it doesn't leave you super glowy. Like, I'm thinking of the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun sunscreen, which I love. That's like my daily sunscreen. It leaves you super duper glowy, so that's why I love it, but this one doesn't. This one leaves you pretty like normal. So it doesn't add anything to the oil that you already have, and I think sunscreens a lot of times can be pretty thick and like heavy, so this one's not like that at all. Very lightweight. And if you're using all these acids and different actives, it's really key that you use a sunscreen because all those things can make you more prone to sunburn and sun damage, so using a sunscreen is absolutely essential. Okay, and the last thing is a makeup product. So if you wear makeup, I would really recommend this Ilia Soft Focus Finishing Powder. This brand has really clean ingredients, which I love, and I just noticed that I stay more mattified when I use this powder, so I wanted to throw that in there just in case you're searching for a good setting powder. I just have a little bonus section for you. So if you're like me and you occasionally struggle with bacne or just like body acne, I really love a salicylic acid body spray. This one is from Naturium, but I know so many other brands have it. It's 2% salicylic acid. Having a spray is really nice for reaching your back. And a little tip is if you notice you get a lot of back pimples, it could be caused from your conditioner in the shower. So what I like to do is whenever I put conditioner in my hair, I'll clip it up, and I'm just really careful to make sure that the conditioner isn't like just sitting on my back. And then when I rinse it out, I'll pull my hair to the side, and then I'll use this to wash my back. And then whenever I put in other hair products, I'm always really careful that I just don't get it on my back, because that can be a really big culprit of bacne, and even just like getting it on your chest too. If your hair sits on your chest with conditioner on, that can really be irritating and very pore clogging. And then for spot treatments, pimple patches. I know every brand has pimple patches nowadays. These are the ones that I really love from Rael. These are the invisible spot cover ones, which I really like because you can wear them under makeup, which is amazing. It just keeps your pimple covered and safe from your makeup and just dirty air throughout the day. Keeps it really clean under there. So I wanted to mention these pimple patches. I always thought were a gimmick, but they're really not. They're really, really great. And then the last product I have to mention to you guys today is the Rapid Clear Stubborn Acne Spot Gel from Neutrogena. This is a spot treatment. It's benzoyl peroxide, so it's targeting that bacteria. Something to be careful with benzoyl peroxide is that it can bleach your clothes and your towels and your pillowcases, so just be careful with that. That's why I always opt for just white towels and sheets. This is a really great spot treatment that I love, so I wanted to mention that in case you are in the market for one. Okay, you guys, those are all the products I have to share with you today. I really hope this was helpful, but if you are left with any more questions about these products or anything like that, feel free to leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll come back for my next one. Bye.